Are you looking for the best master plan community in the state of Florida? I'm going to break this video up into 5 sections. I'm going to start with the accolades of the community. Then I'm going to dive right into a quick overview of the community, kind of give you an idea of where the community is and what is it about and how it got started. Then I'm going to dive into the intangibles of the community, or why I personally love this community so much. 4, some negatives, and then 5, I'm going to end with some inside scoop regarding the community itself. That is how I'm going to structure the video. Let's dive right in. Hi, I am Ryan Zachos. I am with Zachos Realty Design Group. I'm broker owner of the firm out of downtown Sarasota and downtown Venice. I'm sitting in downtown Sarasota right now in our office, and we have an office on Venice Island as well. I was born and raised here in Sarasota, and being born and raised here in Florida, I've had the privilege to pretty much been to almost every one of these master plan communities at some way, shape, or form. I have had friends that have relocated to these parts of the state, have relocated into these communities. I have worked outside of some of these communities personally. I know firsthand what these communities look and feel like, the culture, and what they're offering regarding housing and stuff like that. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about why I love Lakewood Ranch so much and why I think it is so vastly different than all these other master plan communities in the state of Florida. First, let's start with the accolades of the community. The community is often regarded as the #1 best-selling master plan community in the state year over year. It's the #1 multi-gen community in the country year over year. It has been voted for best for retirement. It's been voted best for lifestyle. It's been voted for best golf. It's been voted for best health and fitness community. It's been voted recently as having the best farmers market. There's been so many accolades that have been associated with this community, and a lot of these accolades have just happened in the last 10 years. Like, Lakewood Ranch was really starting development and building in the mid-1990s, so as for master plan community, it is pretty young regarding that. So a lot of these accolades have just been given to Lakewood Ranch, and it's gotten a ton of exposure just in the last 10 years. But now, obviously, Lakewood Ranch is on the map. It's everywhere. People are finding it, and people are relocating here from all over the country. The accolades have come from Ideal Living, the National Association of Home Builders, and then tons and tons of national press from news outlets, publications, newspapers, whatever it may be. So tons of accolades. And this is not just me talking about how wonderful Lakewood Ranch is. This is a national piece recognizing how different and unique Lakewood Ranch is as a whole. But I'm going to talk a little bit right now, just give you a brief history and brief idea of what Lakewood Ranch is on a map. So geographically speaking, Lakewood Ranch is both Manatee and Sarasota County, primarily Manatee County. Sarasota County's section of Lakewood Ranch just opened in the last couple of years. That section is deemed waterside. If you're looking at a map, you see Bradenton in Manatee County, you see Sarasota in Sarasota County. And then east of I-75 is pretty much where Lakewood Ranch is going to reside. It's 50 square miles, so it's a big piece of land. In Manatee County, it makes up 2 zip codes. In Sarasota County, it makes up 1. And they're continuing to expand east, north, and even south a little bit of Lakewood Ranch. So the development and the construction still continue. Lakewood Ranch consists of about 30 different communities now, or 30 different villages, in which Lakewood Ranch calls them. Another way to say neighborhoods. About 26 of those communities still have new construction within them. So there's tons of options regarding new construction. There's everything from affordable home communities, small home communities, to condos, to estates, to full amenity communities. Most of these communities are gated. Most of these communities offer maintenance regarding lawn. There's a lot of different variables and variations within the community, but that is the quote unquote facts of the community. It's about 7 miles, 8 miles east of the Gulf of Mexico, which gives it a great locale regarding that. You are south of Hillsborough County, south of Pinellas County, north of Lee County, Charlotte County, which is going to be of the south. So it's a wonderful location on a map geographically, which is one of the intangibles I'm going to talk about in a second. But that's the brief history of Lakewood Ranch. 50 square miles, built in the 90s, a couple main streets, tons of town centers that make up Lakewood Ranch, and a lot going on for it. So let's dive into some of these intangibles. I just mentioned it a second ago, but the first intangible I wanted to call out is having the infrastructure of an actual city. So Lakewood Ranch is now have its own address, postal codes, and is recognized. So if you live in Lakewood Ranch, you have a Lakewood Ranch address. They are utilizing the county utilities, so whether that be Manatee County or Sarasota County, there is a public library. There are many town centers. There's their own restaurants. There's their own shopping and Publix, which is the grocery. pretty much every couple miles, there will be a different town center within Lakewood Ranch in which you'll be able to find restaurants and shopping and groceries, gas stations, whatever you would need. So it's basically, all intents and purposes, its own city. Another intangible I have is because it is so young, being built in the 90s, the majority of Lakewood Ranch was built just in the last 10, 15 years. It's very modern, it's very clean, it's very safe. There's a lot of these things that are hard to come by in these other communities. The other intangible is the physical location on a map. So a lot of these other communities like Manatee and E-Town and Babcock Ranch and Wesley Chapel, these master plan communities that exist in the state that I've been to and I've seen personally, they are not as close to a beach as Lakewood Ranch is. That might be a negative, like I'm going to talk about later, being a little bit removed from the beach, but it's also where can you find new construction within 10 miles or so to a wonderful beach like Siesta Key, Lido, Longboat. And I can go on and on about the beaches of the Gulf Coast and how they are spectacular and probably arguably the best beaches in the whole state of Florida, period. And so to be close to them with new construction is a massive intangible that you would get nowhere else. Geographical location regarding proximity to the beach, huge. Second, proximity to all the airports around is absolutely, it's wonderful. And I think it's what led to a lot of growth of Lakewood Ranch is having easy access to SRQ, which is Sarasota Bradenton's airport, easy access to Pinellas, St. Pete Clearwater Airport, Hillsborough, which is Tampa, which is a massive international airport. So Tampa, St. Pete, Sarasota, and if you go south, you can even get to Fort Myers within an hour, hour and a half, depending on where you're at in Lakewood Ranch. Tons of airports, easy access in and out of the area. And also you have the big cities around you that provide things like professional sports and international malls and things like that. So like Brandon's got a massive town center area, which now UTC is probably or arguably just as big and popular and newer and has a lot more options, which is literally half a mile from Lakewood Ranch's start border there. So UTC resides in Sarasota and just on the other side of I-75 on a map, but it's a massive retail hub, tons of restaurants. I think they said there's something like 90 restaurants plus just in this UTC area. So anything that you would want regarding food or shopping would be located in UTC. That's a huge perk and tangible to UTC. Proximity to Sarasota is massive. Sarasota's got all the fine arts that you would ever expect within a big city. I mean, there's Broadway theaters in the Oslo. There's Van Wezel, which is performing arts. Players Theater. There is St. Armand Circle, which is a little shopping and food area that is on Lido. There is basically anything you would want in a large city exists in Sarasota. But if you want stuff like professional sports, you're only an hour to Amalie Arena where the Lightning play, or Raymond James where the Bucks play, or 35 minutes to Tropicana Field where the Rays play, which I was just at yesterday. So there's a lot going on in this area, easy access. So geographically, such a massive intangible to Lakewood Ranch and why I love the area so much. A couple other things like, Lakewood Ranch is a green community. So there's a large percentage of the 50 miles Lakewood Ranch exists is dedicated to preserve and green space. So whether that be lakes or woods or whatever it may be, it creates this natural nature first community feeling. There's over 150-mile trails within Lakewood Ranch, which is awesome. I love to take the kids out. We'll just bike the trails or go walk. We'll go fish the ponds and lakes that exist within Lakewood Ranch. So I love the fact that they were really intentional about having nature being the primary focus of Lakewood Ranch and then kind of creating the communities within that or around that. And I love the trail systems and the parks that they have, tons and tons of parks, whether that be playgrounds or ball fields or, disc golf. They have pretty much anything and everything regarding parks within Lakewood Ranch. So that's another awesome intangible. And then the last thing I want to touch on that of why I personally love Lakewood Ranch, it is new construction. A lot of these master plan communities in the state are new construction or offer new construction. There are 26 or so, give or take one or two, communities that are selling actively right now regarding new construction. I think that is so important because with hurricane code, buying a new construction home or something that's been built in the last 10 years or so, those homes are going to be caught up on code. They're going to be built to standard, built to current code, which means the roofs are going to be tied down to the foundation. You're going to have all block home, 12-inch cinder block home that are going to be poured solid. There's some builders that are building both floors as solid block, not just the first floor. But if you have a 2-story home, both floors are block. They're not going to build with vinyl siding, and they're going to build with either hardy board or obviously just a stucco on the block. So whether it's plumbing, they're using PVC, which 30, 40 years ago, they were using copper for water in, they're using cast iron for water out. That has been known to obviously corrode over time. So all the stuff from plumbing to electrical to hurricane code. They're going to provide hurricane shutters on a home, and if they don't provide hurricane shutters, they're required to do impact glass or impact windows. So you have to have one or the two on new construction. This was a code that was developed in the mid 2000s, 2006, 7, somewhere in there. It is, I think, really awesome to have a new construction and have that new construction home built up to code. Also, another cool fact, Lakewood Ranch is that it's east of I-75. Lakewood Ranch is going to be built outside of a flood zone, so there's minimal to no risk regarding any flooding or any cause of surge or anything like that from a hurricane. I love that aspect. You're getting proximity to the beach and that you're 30 to 40 minutes to a beach, whether it's Anna Maria, Siesta, Lido. You're getting proximity to the beach, but not having to deal with the ramifications if a catastrophic hurricane came through the area. Obviously, there might be some stuff, and overall, these homes are built super, super well. Love that intangible. And then I'm going to talk about some negatives to Lakewood Ranch. One is the growth has been crazy over the last 10 years. If I'm guessing off the top of my head, there's probably about 60,000 residents that make up Lakewood Ranch right now. They're expecting 100 plus when it's all said and done. So the infrastructure, even though it's built really, really well, and it was master planned really, really well regarding having 4-lane roads pretty much everywhere and anywhere that make up Lakewood Ranch. There's tons of roads going east to west, tons of roads going north to south. So there's really not much congestion within Lakewood Ranch. They did that really well. But once you get outside of Lakewood Ranch, like when you get to I-75 or Cattleman, some of these areas outside of Lakewood Ranch, you're starting to see some of that congestion from that increase of traffic and people living here. That's a negative if you're looking for something that's a little bit more removed, a little bit more quieter. Lakewood Ranch might not be for that. If you're looking for that amenity-rich area regarding plays and culinary, some of the stuff that Lakewood Ranch brings in proximity to locations, then Lakewood Ranch is for you. Another thing to be cautious of is any community except for one, I believe, in Lakewood Ranch has a CDD associated with it. It's essentially a development fee that's on your tax bill. It's an increase to your taxes. You'll have your tax bill, which is, standard for the county, and then you're gonna have a CDD added to that tax bill as well if you are buying into Lakewood Ranch. Some of the older communities, the bond portion might be paid off on that, or some communities, the builder might have paid off that bond portion, but there is still some operational costs associated with that CDD, and that could be anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 plus, that on an annual basis that will be added to that tax bill. So that's negative for Lakewood Ranch. You can't avoid that. That's just part of the perks of living in a well-developed, beautiful community. And then on top of the CDD, all these communities are going to have an HOA fee. There are communities that have low amenities or no amenities, and their HOA fees are going to be super, super small, not just going to some maintenance of the grounds. And then they're going to have some communities that are beautiful, gated communities that have golf courses, resort style amenities from lap pools to resort pools, to dining within, pickleball, tennis, anything you can imagine regarding living in a resort and living in a amenity-rich community. Those fees could be anywhere from $300-400 a month all the way up to $1,000 plus, whether you're purchasing a condo or a single family home, and in what community you're you want to live in or you're choosing. Just, that's a negative. Some people don't want the high HOA dues as well as the CDD fees, but that's something that you're going to assume if you are in Lakewood Ranch, no matter what. Another thing that is a negative is the proximity to the beach. Some people want to be in Sarasota or maybe even Venice and some of the new construction in Nokomis or North Venice, because you could buy new construction that is more west. It is only 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to the beach. Or Lakewood Ranch, no matter, even if you're Lakewood Ranch Golf and Country Club, which is going to be probably the furthest west that you could get in Lakewood Ranch, or maybe even something in Waterside, you're still going to be 25, 30 minutes minimum to the closest beach, which in that case would be like Lido. But another little cool, interesting fact about Lakewood Ranch, I love the way that the shape of Florida is and the I-75 works. You could pretty much get to Anna Maria Island, Bradenton Beach, Lido, Siesta, Nokomis, and Venice all around that same time period. Even though the mileage might change, the way that I-75 runs straight down the coast, the way that the coast kind of tapers in, you can actually get to all those beaches within right around the same amount of minutes, which is going to be, like I said, depending on where you're at in Lakewood Ranch, it could be 25, 30 to 45 if you're looking at some of those pockets in Northeast Lakewood Ranch right now. So that's kind of a cool thing though, because you could check out multiple beaches and go down to Venice and do all the awesome world-renowned shelling and shark's tooth hunting there in Venice, and then or go to the beautiful white sands of Siesta and Lido. But Lakewood Ranch, proximity to the beach, that's something that people are deterred from a little bit in Lakewood Ranch once they start looking at some of the other new construction available in the area. But they're not most likely going to find that master plan community feel that they would in Lakewood Ranch, having its own structure, amenities, and things like that all Lakewood Ranch has to offer, the farmers markets and whatever else that Lakewood Ranch is doing, and the community events, all that kind of stuff. Now I'm going to end this with some like little inside scoop. Because Lakewood Ranch is so vast, there are 30-ish, give or take a couple communities. It's changing every single day. They're popping another community up. They're starting sales in new communities. Because of the 30 plus different communities, I live in Lakewood Ranch. Personally, I was born and raised in Sarasota. You need someone like me in your corner if you're looking to tackle this, because it is a lot to take in, and there are so many different builders. There's 10 plus builders, 30 plus communities. There's so many different variations of HOA and amenities within those communities that if you're looking for a certain style of home or certain size of home at a certain price point with certain amenities, you really need someone that has sold at all these communities and knows all these communities intimately. So that way they can narrow this down for you and you don't have to do all that heavy lifting on your own. There is no harm in having a realtor, whether it's me or someone else, it doesn't matter. There's no harm in a realtor supporting you and being a resource for you and using them in your new construction purchase. The builders do not give you a break. I think that's a misconception. The builders will not give you a break if you walk in on your own. Actually, oftentimes we have relationships with the sales reps within these communities that we can go to and ask for additional incentives on your behalf. I hope this video helps. I guess I'll give you a little bit of a nugget. I think, if you're looking for new construction golf community, Azario is right up there on the list, one of my favorites. If you're looking for something that's more affordable within Lakewood Ranch, I love Star Farms right now, because Star Farms has multiple amenity centers. It's going to have a restaurant, has everything that a large community might offer at an affordable price with an affordable HOA. I really like the value there. There's multi-million-dollar homes as well as even townhome options. And then Azario has now opened up a townhome section as well. There's Park East, which is Taylor Morrison as well with Azario. So Park East is more affordable version of Taylor Morrison's product. That's kind of a less amenities than Azario would have. But if you're looking for golf, if you're looking for a good builder, if you're looking for resort style amenities, Azario would be for you. And then if you're looking for an affordable version of that with no golf, then Star Farms might be that. Love Waterside on a map. There's tons of communities that are popping up that I really like, Shellstone being one of those, that you can find some affordable options with very amenity rich. It's in Sarasota County. So I like that geographical location better, being a lot more south, so you're closer to the Sarasota beaches, downtown Sarasota, and all else to offer. That's it. Just want to give you a tiny little bit of nugget, little insider info of where my leaning is, where my liking is of what Lakewood Ranch is doing right now. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please comment if you have any questions. Please reach out if you have any questions. You can text, you can call. Like I said, I was born and raised here, and I would love to be a resource for you in your home buying journey. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. I just want to pop on real quick and tell you a little bit about who I am and who we are here at Zachos Realty Design Group. I'm Ryan Zachos, as you heard throughout the video. I was born and raised here in Sarasota. I currently live with my family in Lakewood Ranch. Started this firm with my father about 8 years ago or so. We have an office in downtown Sarasota and downtown Venice. He actually lives on Venice Island. My father relocated here from Michigan, and it was his first career out of college at Michigan State, was a police officer here in Sarasota County at the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. My mom relocated here from New Jersey when she was actually a child, so they have both relocated here from out of state, but it afforded me the opportunity to actually be born and raised here. So I spent my first 18 years living in Sarasota proper, and then now with my family, we live in Lakewood Ranch. I absolutely love everything about the Gulf Coast of Florida. I've worked in St. Pete. I've worked in Tampa. I lived in Sarasota. My parents currently live in Venice Island. I have sold a lot of stuff in Welland Park. I'm passionate about this area, and I think that it offers an unbelievable lifestyle that is unparalleled to anything else in the state of Florida, let alone the country. I do think that being born and raised here, it provides me the opportunity to provide insight into communities, into areas that a lot of agents don't know. There are a lot of agents, there's 10,000 plus agents here locally, and a lot of those agents actually aren't from here or haven't lived here that very long at all. So being from here, I have had the privilege of building relationships with tons and tons of vendors in every industry you could think of, but then also just having that intimate knowledge of each community and each area, whether it's a pocket of Sarasota or a pocket of Venice or Lakewood Ranch, whatever that consists. I do think that I can provide that value in great detail for you and help you in understanding what your relocation goals are and helping you achieve that in what kind of home and community you want to ultimately be in. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions at all. I would love to be a resource for you, and I hope I can meet you one day. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.